Breaking. Kandi Burruss opens up about a shocking revelation involving Todd Portia. Stop everything. Because what you're about to hear is not gossip, not a rumor, not a messy little headline you scroll past and forget. This is the kind of revelation that hits like an earthquake at midnight, the kind that makes your stomach drop before your brain can catch up. One moment, everything looked picture perfect. Next, an entire empire cracked open in real time. No warning. No soft launch. Just a trembling screen, a shattered voice, and a truth so explosive it instantly set social media on fire. This didn't start with a press release. It didn't come from a blog. It came from raw emotion spilling out when it could no longer be contained. A single sentence detonated across the internet, sending fans into panic, disbelief, and chaos all at once. Group chats blew up. Timelines refreshed endlessly. People asked the same question over and over. Is this really happening? Because the names involved aren't random. They are powerful, familiar, protected. And that's what makes this so dangerous. A marriage pushed to the edge. A friendship poisoned beyond repair. Whispers of secret meetings, hidden phones, and betrayals so close to home they feel personal. Screenshots allegedly leaked. Voice notes rumored to exist. Silence from the people who should be screaming their innocence the loudest. And the scariest part. This wasn't supposed to come out. Someone talked when they weren't meant to. Someone found something they were never supposed to see. And now the truth is out here, wild and uncontrollable, tearing through reputations like a hurricane. Stay right here. Do not blink. Because once you hear what was revealed, and who it involves, there is no going back. It started in silence, the most dangerous kind, the kind that creeps in before a storm. Atlanta was asleep. Timelines were quiet, and then without warning, a notification shattered the calm. Kandi Burruss is live. No promo. No caption. No explanation. Just a shaky front-facing camera, dim lighting, and a face so swollen from crying that fans instantly knew something was wrong. Comments flooded in faster than the app could process them. Are you okay? What happened? Please say this is a joke. But Kandi didn't stall. She didn't ease into it. She didn't protect anyone, including herself. She inhaled sharply, stared directly into the camera, and dropped a sentence so violent it felt like it sucked the air out of the internet. A sentence that would not just change her life, but drag everyone connected to her into absolute chaos. For 3 full seconds after she said it, there was nothing. No comments. No reactions. Just stunned silence, like the world collectively forgot how to breathe. Then the explosion hit. Screams in all caps. Broken hearts typed in real time. Accusations flying faster than facts. People begged her to stop, to log off, to think about what she was doing. But it was too late. The words were already out there, ricocheting across social media like shrapnel. And when Kandi's hand reached out of frame and pulled a thick black folder into view, bent at the corners, stuffed with paper, the story shifted from shocking to catastrophic. Proof. That was the word she used. Not rumors. Not feelings. Proof. She said the betrayal didn't start overnight. It didn't begin with one mistake or one bad decision. It grew quietly, fed by proximity, secrecy, and opportunity. She described changes she tried to ignore. Late nights that didn't make sense. Work meetings that stretched until morning. A second phone that was always face down. And a friend who suddenly felt distant, careful, almost rehearsed whenever Kandi entered the room. She said she convinced herself she was paranoid, that success makes everyone busy, that marriage means trusting even when your gut is screaming. Her voice cracked when she admitted she was trying to hold her family together while, behind her back, something else was being built without her consent. The chat moved so fast it nearly froze the live. People were already naming names, and the one that kept surfacing made the situation feel unforgivable. Todd Tucker, her husband, the man she defended for years, the man who stood beside her on red carpets and reunion couches, was now at the center of a narrative so ugly fans refused to believe it at first. And then there was the other name, the one that turned disappointment into fury. Porsha Williams. A friend. A sister in the same reality TV trenches. Someone who had sat at Kandi's table, laughed in her home, smiled for cameras beside her. The idea of betrayal from both directions at once felt almost cinematic, too cruel to be real. But Kandi didn't hesitate. She looked exhausted, not dramatic. Hurt, not performative. And that made it worse. She claimed she had receipts that lined up too cleanly to be coincidence. Dates that matched unexplained disappearances. Messages that crossed lines no married man should cross. Voice notes she said she couldn't bring herself to play yet. She insisted she stayed quiet for months, hoping it would burn out, hoping she was wrong, hoping the truth would collapse under scrutiny. Instead, it solidified. And when she finally confronted Todd off camera, she said his reaction wasn't denial. It was panic. The kind that tells you everything you need to know before a single confession is spoken. According to her, he begged for time. Time to explain. Time to fix it. Time she now realizes was never meant for her, but for damage control. As the live continued, something else became painfully clear. Porsha was nowhere to be found. No post. No denial. No, this is fake story slide. Just silence. And silence, in moments like this, is a language of its own. Fans immediately began digging, pulling old clips, screenshots, body language analyses from past seasons, moments that suddenly looked different under this new, horrifying lens. A laugh that lingered too long. A glance that felt loaded. An inside joke that now made people uncomfortable. Twitter turned into a courtroom with no judge. TikTok became a forensic lab. YouTube thumbnails multiplied by the minute, each more dramatic than the last. Then came the first alleged leak. A screenshot posted by an anonymous account, with no profile picture, and a handle that looked freshly created. The message was blurry, but readable enough to ignite hysteria. A late-night text. A pet name. A promise that something had been handled. Real or fake, it didn't matter. The internet accepted it as gasoline and poured it freely. Reaction videos flooded timelines. People filmed themselves shaking, crying, pacing, whispering that they felt sick. Others called it a setup, a distraction, a manufactured scandal meant to distract from something bigger. And that's when the narrative twisted again. Hours later, Kandi returned for a second brief live. No tears this time. No shaking. Just a cold, focused anger that scared people more than her breakdown had. She leaned closer to the camera and said something that changed the temperature of the entire story. This isn't just about cheating. This is about a cover-up. Those 4 words detonated like a second bomb. Cover-up means help. It means planning. It means more people involved than anyone is admitting. And suddenly the question wasn't just who betrayed her, but who helped them do it. Blogs went into overdrive. Insiders started confirming things off the record. One claimed Todd had been using a burner phone. Another swore there were meetings at private hotels after industry events. Someone else whispered about clinic visits, paperwork, timelines that didn't add up. Fans didn't know what to believe, but belief almost didn't matter anymore. The damage was already spread. The internet didn't sleep. It stalked. It refreshed. It hunted for anything that could explain how a story this explosive could still feel unfinished. And then, right when exhaustion should have slowed everything down, the leaks escalated. Not whispers this time. Not vague accusations. Harder. Darker. More calculated. An anonymous account dropped a voice recording at dawn, no caption, no context, just a file uploaded like a threat. The audio was grainy, shaky, clearly recorded in secret. But the voices were unmistakable. One male. One female. Tense. Panicked. Familiar. People didn't even finish listening before running to every platform at once, screaming that this had crossed into a new level of insanity. The recording started quietly, almost tender, which somehow made it worse. A whispered question. A frustrated response. Then the line that froze everyone in place. "You said it was handled." A pause. Breathing. And then, "I thought it was, but she found something." That was it. No name spoken, but none needed. The implication was violent. Handled doesn't mean apology. It doesn't mean honesty. It means containment. Erasure. Control. Within minutes, the audio was everywhere, dissected syllable by syllable. TikTok creators slowed it down, isolated frequencies, swore they could hear panic layered under confidence. Twitter exploded with theories so fast they contradicted each other in real time. Some insisted it was fake. Others said it was the smoking gun. But one thing was undeniable. The tone wasn't innocent. As the internet spiraled, blogs began reporting exclusive confirmations from unnamed insiders. One claimed the recording was real, but only a fraction of what existed. Another hinted that there were messages too damaging to release all at once. Screenshots allegedly from a private chat surfaced next, time-stamped at hours nobody wants to explain. Pet names blurred out. Plans hinted at, but not fully shown. It was just enough to suggest intimacy without outright proving it, which made it even more toxic. Fans argued viciously about authenticity, while simultaneously spreading it everywhere. Perception hardened. And once perception locks in, truth becomes almost irrelevant. That's when the second leak hit. Not audio. Not text. A document. A clinic appointment slip photographed against what looked like a marble countertop. Initials visible. Date circled. A location that sent shockwaves through the fandom because it matched something mentioned earlier during the first emotional confession. People zoomed in until the pixels broke apart. Reddit threads popped up within seconds, cross-referencing timelines, Google reviews, even parking layouts. Some screamed it was forged. Others said there was no way someone would fake something that specific. The comment sections became unbearable. People cried. People raged. People accused each other of protecting the wrong person. And through all of it, one person went completely silent. Kandi Burruss vanished. No posts. No stories. No likes. Fans flooded her comments begging for reassurance, for strength, for anything that suggested she was okay. Rumors spread instantly. She left Atlanta. She checked into a hotel under a different name. She was with family. She was surrounded by lawyers. One gossip blogger claimed she hadn't stopped crying for 2 days straight. Another insisted she was furious, not broken. That she was gathering everything. That silence wasn't weakness. It was preparation. The hashtag #JusticeForKandi surged again, this time laced with fear rather than sympathy. Meanwhile, the pressure on Porsha Williams became suffocating. Paparazzi photos surfaced of her leaving buildings with her head down, face bare, eyes hidden behind oversized sunglasses. Fans dissected her body language like it was evidence. Then, late that night, she posted again. No long explanation. No carefully worded statement. Just a single black screen with white text. Stop lying on me. 5 words that did more damage than 1,000. Because lying about what? The pregnancy. The affair. The messages. The audio. The vagueness felt intentional, defensive, desperate. And it split the internet clean in half. Some rallied behind her, claiming she was being framed by a coordinated takedown. Others said that post screamed panic, not innocence. Behind the scenes, one name kept resurfacing in whispers. Todd Tucker. And his silence was becoming unbearable. No denial. No apology. No, respect our privacy. Just nothing. And in Hollywood, nothing usually means lawyers. Insiders claimed he had been seen entering offices late at night, avoiding cameras, flanked by people who don't show up unless the situation is already dire. Rumors swirled that NDAs were being drafted, that cease and desist letters were flying behind the scenes while the public burned everything down in front. Then came the footage. Grainy CCTV video leaked by yet another anonymous account. A luxury hotel lobby. Late at night. Timestamp visible. First, a man in a baseball cap and hoodie walks in, looking over his shoulder like he knows he shouldn't be there. 5 minutes later, a woman enters. Different entrance. Same elevator. The camera catches the floor number lighting up as the doors close. The clip wasn't clear enough to prove what happened next, but it didn't need to be. The implication was devastating. Twitter erupted. TikTok went feral. Kandi was right, trended within minutes. Reaction videos showed people screaming, covering their mouths, pacing their rooms in disbelief. The silence from Todd suddenly felt less like strategy and more like guilt. Networks reportedly began distancing themselves quietly. Segments were pulled. Names avoided. PR teams scrambled behind closed doors, trying to figure out which version of the truth would cause the least damage if it came out next. And still, no one had heard directly from the woman at the center of it all. Until a post from someone else sent a chill through the fandom. A mother's post. A childhood photo. A caption that felt like a warning and a promise at the same time. I've wiped her tears before, and I'll do it again. Fans read between every word. Protection mode activated. This was no longer just celebrity drama. This was family. As midnight approached, another anonymous message dropped that changed the tone yet again. This isn't about cheating. The sentence sat there like a loaded gun. Beneath it, a blurry photo that fans swore showed a pregnancy test, and 2 shadows on a wall. No faces. No confirmation. But by now, confirmation wasn't required. The story had evolved into something darker. Planning. Secrecy. Help from unexpected places. And the sense that whatever was being hidden mattered more than the affair itself. By the end of the night, timelines were wreckage. Fans were emotionally exhausted, furious, heartbroken. Everyone agreed on one thing. This wasn't done. Not even close. Because when people go this quiet, when lawyers start moving, when anonymous accounts risk everything to leak pieces, instead of the whole picture, it means one thing. There is something so damaging that everyone is terrified of it seeing daylight. And somewhere, someone was deciding whether to press upload on the next piece of evidence. By the 3rd day, the atmosphere had shifted from chaos to fear. This was no longer entertainment. This was no longer fandom warfare, or viral mess. This was the moment when people realized